Hello, my name is Dylan Connolly and I play for Birkenhead United in Auckland, New Zealand. And last year I also played for Tupapa Maraerenga in the Cook Islands. So I'm originally from Dublin in Ireland and I come from a football mad family. So from the age of 4 I started playing football and then as I got a bit older I got the desire to travel and see the world. So I thought New Zealand would be the perfect place to come to combine the two of football and travel. In Ireland I played for multiple clubs. Obviously I played there all my life up until I was 23. I started off in the League of Ireland Academy setup with teams like Shelburne and Drogheda United, which was excellent, and I played there up until under-19s, and then unfortunately didn't make the step up to senior football there and came into what is known as the Leinster Senior League and played for a club called Lucan United. So this was still an amateur setting, but it was taken very seriously and really enjoyed my time there. Because this was an amateur setting, it allowed me to also play for the amateur Republic of Ireland international team. And in 2023, I got to play in the UEFA Regions Cup, which was an unbelievable experience, getting to play against Germany, Spain and Bosnia. Although it's an amateur tournament, everything about it was professional, like the coaches, the flights, the accommodation, the matches, the officials. To finish football in Ireland with that before moving to New Zealand was just perfect. Once I got to New Zealand, it wasn't long before I received a message on Facebook asking me if I'd like to represent Tupapa Maraerenga in the OFC qualifiers.
Staged by the Cook Islands champions and more trouble for Boitongo. Under siege, goalmouth, Irish delight, Dylan Connolly.
To be completely honest, I didn't know who they were or I didn't know much about football in the Cook Islands. But wanting to travel and wanting to play football, it was the perfect opportunity for me. So I agreed and we set up plans to travel to the Cook Islands and meet the team before we headed off to Tonga for the Oceania qualifiers.
Brought down, penalty awarded, Dylan Connolly burning it in the corner.
My favourite football memory is probably the Oceania qualifiers with Tupapa. Coming from Dublin in Ireland and 1 year later getting to play for a team from the Cook Islands in an Oceania tournament was just insane. I never would have expected to experience anything like that, and just the football culture being so different, and in the stadiums before the games, the people up dancing to the music and chanting and stuff. It was just a different experience. Football crowds in Ireland are great and really passionate and singing, but in terms of the dancing and the enjoyment, I think the islands kind of did that a little bit better, and it was just really enjoyable to play in and definitely one of my best football memories. So since moving to New Zealand, I've signed for a club called Birkenhead United. So we play in the northern region of the New Zealand Football League. And luckily this year we qualified for the National League, which just started in recent weeks. And we've done really well to qualify for the National League and play against some of the best teams in the country. So really, really good experience all around.
He's going to have a shot. In the middle here comes the shot. Great hit. Great shot, set up well.
There was definitely some major differences between the football in the Cook Islands compared to that in New Zealand and even that in Ireland. Obviously the facilities and things like that aren't as developed there, but it was amazing. The passion that they have for the game and how seriously they take it is like everywhere else. Another key difference would be maybe the religion. So football in the Cook Islands was heavily based around religion, and it was kind of built into the football, and we would pray before games and before meals, whereas I didn't have that as much in New Zealand or in Ireland either. The qualifiers themselves were so good. We did really well. We won 2 games and we lost 1. So unfortunately we didn't qualify for the finals, but we did really well against some good teams. And it was also an excellent experience getting to see Tonga for the first time and meeting the people from there, which seemed to be quite a similar setup to football in the Cook Islands. I think the football scene in the Cook Islands is growing like it is everywhere in Oceania at the minute. I think football in New Zealand and all the Pacific Islands seems to be trending upwards, which is fantastic. I think in the next couple of years it will be going in a positive direction, with money being invested into facilities. The Women's World Cup being in New Zealand as well kind of pumped a lot of money and eyes on the country in terms of football, so that'll only benefit it in the long term. And also then in terms of the Cook Island, I think they're bringing in coaches from outside to develop the players and develop it. And even with Tupapa in particular, like the people at the top of that club are excellent, like the president and the people around it, the secretaries. Like everyone has such a love for the game and such a love for the community that it can only get better from here. There's definitely some differences between football in New Zealand and football in Ireland. I would say one of the main ones is probably the physicality. In New Zealand, it's probably a little bit less physical and maybe more technical, whereas in Ireland, it's a lot more physical. In Ireland, in recent years, football's come a long way, and where there wasn't too many professional clubs in the past, now there is. So if you look at the top division in Ireland, every club is full-time and professional, whereas if you look at New Zealand and the National League, every team is amateur. So I think that's probably the biggest difference. But I guess Ireland has the advantage being part of that like European football scene, and has been able to build up quicker, and hopefully New Zealand can like follow that path and in the next couple of years have the same kind of system and divisions. The way things are going right now, I'm really happy with, and I think I've had a pretty good career so far. I'm still 24, so still quite young. If there was a professional contract on the table, of course I'd take it, and any chance to go and play football full time. But right now I'm really happy with how things are going and just concentrating on football with Birkenhead and trying to do well in the National League this year, and then we'll see what happens next year, whether it's staying in New Zealand and staying with Birkenhead, or maybe trying to try something new in a different country, or try chase that professional contract. One message I'd have is definitely targeted towards amateur footballers, and that is just enjoy your football, keep playing football, and just because you're not professional doesn't mean you can't have a good career and a good life in football. I've never once signed a professional contract, and I've managed to play at a really high level in Ireland. I've got to play for the Republic of Ireland in Spain. I've got to travel to New Zealand and play football. I've got to travel to the Cook Islands and play football, and these are not amateur teams and these are not amateur games or competitions. You can still have a really good career, a really enjoyable career, so just keep going and take your chances when they come, but just enjoy your football and take opportunities when they come your way.